for Reinaldo Moya, who composed all of the music. And Reinaldo, I think you're going to help us to meet the folks who are playing this music and tell us a little bit about how these songs came to be.
Yeah, so thank you for being here on this wonderful, beautiful day. We got lucky with the weather gods are smiling upon us today, so thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about how this project came together. I was approached by Mark and Alejandro back in December to join this project, and at first I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this. So that's exactly why I wanted to do it, because I knew that that was the kind of thing that would take me in a direction that where I needed to do something different, not the kind of thing that I usually did. So we started by having some conversations with people in the neighborhood. We had a wonderful meeting here back in March with the folks from the Logan Park Neighborhood Association, where I heard lots of stories, and where the idea of doing this show right here first came into consideration. And that was really the moment where things started to come together for me in terms of like looking at this neighborhood and its history, which is quite rich, and try to, in the best way that I could, bring this into some kind of music, right? And so the 4 songs that you'll hear today, each kind of tell a little bit of a story of a special part of this neighborhood, of the history, of the culture, of who the people are here. The first song that you just heard, To Youth, is an anthem to the young people in this neighborhood to awaken their social conscience, right? And one of the key elements in this entire collaboration was getting connected with Natalie Nowitzki. I hope I'm perfect. Yes, who has deep roots here in the neighborhood, and her great grandmother was a wonderful poet that came here from Ukraine. When?
1949.
And so her grandmother wrote quite eloquently about her life here in Northeast in Ukrainian, and then Natalie has done beautiful settings of her own great-grandmother's poetry in Ukrainian, but we wanted to translate some of those lyrics and adapt them a little bit into something that would fit this the setting of today. So the first song that we just heard, To Youth, is this anthem to the youth that is inspired and adapted from the poetry of Nadia Lan. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly as well. And so that was a wonderful serendipitous meeting. The second song that we're about to hear is quite appropriate to today. It's I knew I wanted to do something about all the art that happens right here in Northeast, right? And one of the first things I did in my preparation for this show was I took a tour with Josh from Clay Square around all the artist spaces around the neighborhood. And that was mind-blowing. I knew a little bit that there was some art spaces out here. I had no idea that it was that many, and that the arts quarter in Minneapolis is the envy of the arts quarters in pretty much any American city, if not world city. So you should be very proud of what you have right here in your own backyard. And so this song is also loosely inspired by one of your great-grandmother's poems as well. And then the third song that you will hear following after is a song titled Lowry Bridge. There are no words here. As I started talking to the folks here, that site kept coming up. Lowry Bridge as a potent symbol for the not so wonderful aspects of the history of this neighborhood, right? Some of the tensions and some of the conflict that has been a part of this neighborhood, because it has traditionally had been a neighborhood that was had a lot of immigrant communities going through here, and sometimes there are tensions that happen through that. I didn't feel right putting lyrics to that. I wanted to just to have a moment of reflection through music without songs. So that's what that third song, Lowry Bridge, is loosely about. But before we hear the second and the third song, I do want to introduce our musicians here. We've got Natalie Nowitzki here as the voice, who's our lyricist. We've got Marty Hodel on the trumpet, Casey Raffin on keyboards, Keith Yanis on the double bass, and Michelle Hofo on the drums. And I think that's it for now. We'll come back before the last song because there's some audience participation that you all are going to be a part of, which you didn't know about, but that'll be okay.